Imagine this, you're sitting at your desk, your mind racing faster than your laptop's fan. Notifications, emails, responsibilities, everything hitting you at once. Your body feels present, but your brain is scattered everywhere. This is the moment most people in the UK and USA experience daily. A mental overload that slowly becomes their new normal. But what if I told you that you can interrupt this entire spiral in just 60 seconds? This is called the 1-minute reset, a tiny pause with a massive psychological payoff. Here's the story. A woman named Claire, working in London's finance sector, discovered this trick by accident. Her days were packed with back-to-back meetings, leaving her overwhelmed and overstimulated. One afternoon, she closed her laptop, leaned back in her chair, and simply placed her hand on her chest. No meditation music. No gaididap, just silence. For 1 minute, she took a deep breath in, held it for 2 seconds, and let it go slowly. Something shifted. That single minute created a mental reset button she never knew she needed. Her heartbeat slowed, her mind stopped racing, and the heaviness in her chest loosened just enough for her to feel in control again. Psychologists call this a pattern interrupt, a deliberate break in chaos. Neuroscientists say it stops the brain's alarm system from flooding you with stress chemicals. But normal people describe it in much simpler words. I feel lighter. And the best part? You can do it anywhere, your office, the kitchen, even your car before walking into work. Close your eyes. One hand on your chest. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Just 1 minute of intentional pause. This micro-practice clears mental fog, lowers stress, and builds emotional strength. It reminds your brain that you are in control. Not the world, not the noise, not the chaos. A small pause can reset your entire day, sometimes even your entire mindset. Picture this. You're sitting in traffic, running late, your mind buzzing with worries. Or maybe you're standing in your kitchen, staring at your phone after reading a stressful message. Your chest feels tight, your heartbeat is uneven, and your thoughts get louder and louder. This is the exact moment when most people say, I can't calm down. But the truth is, you can. And it takes less than a minute. Psychologists in the UK and USA teach a powerful method known as the 5-2-7 breath hack, a technique used in therapy rooms, corporate offices, and even by athletes who need instant calm under pressure. Here's the story. A man named Jason, a software engineer from New York, struggled with sudden waves of anxiety. He tried meditation apps, long yoga sessions, and even journaling, but nothing worked fast enough for those moments when panic hit instantly. One day, during a session, his therapist taught him this simple breathing pattern. Inhale for 5 seconds, hold for 2, exhale for 7. That first try changed everything. As he breathed out slowly, he felt his shoulders drop, his jaw unclenched, his chest loosened. It was the first time in years he felt in control of his own body. This breath hack works because the long exhale signals your brain's parasympathetic system, the calm down switch. It literally tells your brain, you're safe. Slow down. You can try it right now. Inhale deeply for 5. Hold for 2. Now exhale gently for 7. Let the stress melt out of your body with each long breath. Do this cycle 3 times. You'll feel your mind clearing, your heart slowing, and your emotions settling. This technique is tiny, invisible, and incredibly powerful. In a world filled with noise, anxiety, and overstimulation, your breath becomes your anchor, your reset, your peace. And the best part? You carry this tool with you everywhere you go. Imagine your mind like a browser with 27 tabs open. Emails, bills, relationships, unfinished tasks, unexpected problems, all running in the background, all draining your mental battery. This is what most people in the UK and USA silently struggle with: mental clutter. Not physical mess, but thoughts so noisy that even 5 minutes of quiet feels impossible. But here's the truth. You can declutter your mind in just a few minutes. And the trick is shockingly simple. Here's the story. Sophie, a 29-year-old nurse from Manchester, carried invisible weight every day. Patience, paperwork, night shifts, emotional moments, and the constant pressure to stay strong. One evening, She sat on her bed and felt like she was drowning in her own thoughts. Scrolling didn't help. Music didn't help. Crying didn't help. Then her mentor, an older nurse, shared something she called the Mind Dump Minute. Grab your phone, open notes, write down every single thought exactly as it appears in your head. Not explaining, not organizing, just dumping. Sophie tried it. In 60 seconds, her notes were filled with random sentences. I'm tired. Did I email back? Mom called. My shift is too heavy. I need rest. I'm overwhelmed. Why am I thinking so much? And suddenly, she felt lighter. Because the secret is this. The brain relaxes when it knows your thoughts are stored somewhere safe. You're no longer holding them. You're releasing them. This technique is used by therapists, writers, CEOs, and students. It's fast, private, and incredibly freeing. Do it anytime your mind feels full. 1 minute of mind dumping. Then read it back and ask, which of these thoughts actually needs attention? Which are just noise? You'll notice 80% of your worries were just clutter. And once you get them out of your head, the silence inside you feels like breathing fresh air for the first time.
Odecluttered mindig sokaim mind.
There are days when everything feels heavy. You wake up tired, move through the morning on autopilot, and every small inconvenience feels 10 times bigger. A long queue at the coffee shop, a slow email reply, a messy room, it all adds up, creating this silent emotional pressure inside your chest. People in the UK and USA commonly describe it as feeling flat. Not sad, not angry, just empty. But here's a surprising truth. You can shift this emotional state in under a minute using something psychologists call a micro-gratitude shift. Here's the story. Emily, a university student living in Boston, struggled with quiet loneliness. Everyone around her seemed busy, productive, full of direction, while she felt lost. One morning, while talking to her counselor, she said, "I don't think anything good is happening in my life." Her counselor gently smiled and asked her to try something. Name one thing that didn't go wrong today. Emily paused. She thought for a moment and said quietly, "Well, my bus arrived on time." Her counselor nodded. "That's enough. Say it slowly. Feel it." When she repeated it, something shifted. Not huge, but real. This is micro-gratitude, not writing long journal lists or pretending everything is perfect. It's choosing one tiny thing that is okay, safe, working, or peaceful, even when life feels overwhelming. Because gratitude isn't about big wins. It's about micro-recognition of small stability. Try it right now. Think of one thing today that didn't fall apart. One moment that didn't hurt. One detail that quietly supported you. One thing that made your day 1% easier. Maybe a warm shower, a message reply, a comfortable bed, your favorite tea, a moment of fresh air. One tiny gratitude instantly interrupts negativity bias, the brain's habit of scanning for danger, and gently pulls you back into emotional balance. It doesn't fix everything, but it makes everything feel more manageable. And sometimes one tiny shift is all you're in. Anxiety doesn't always explode loudly. Sometimes it arrives quietly, a tight chest, shaky hands, difficulty breathing, thoughts spinning so fast that you can't catch a single one. Millions of people in the UK and USA experience these sudden waves, often without warning. At work, in a supermarket, at home doing absolutely nothing. But here's the powerful truth. Your body has a built-in reset system, and you can activate it in under a minute using the 5 senses grounding method. Here's the story. A woman named Laura from Seattle used to experience overwhelming anxiety before presentations. Her heart raced, her stomach twisted, her mind screamed every what if imaginable. She felt like she was losing control, even though she wasn't in danger. Then her therapist taught her something she called return to the room, a grounding technique that pulls you out of your spiraling thoughts and back into the real, stable present moment. Laura tried it backstage before her next presentation. She placed her feet firmly on the ground, took a breath, and slowly activated each sense. 5 things you can see: the curtains, the lights, her shoes, a notebook, the stage floor, for things you can touch, her jacket sleeve, her necklace, the floor, her hair, 3 things you can hear, a fan, soft voices, footsteps, 2 things you can smell, her perfume, fresh paper, 1 thing you can taste, a mint she had taken earlier. Suddenly her heartbeat slowed, her breathing softened, her panic melted into focus. This method works because anxiety lives in your thoughts, but calm lives in your senses. When you guide your brain back into your physical surroundings, it stops imagining danger. Anyone can do this, at work, in class, in a car, during an argument, in the middle of a stressful day. Simple, invisible, and incredibly grounding. And sometimes, reconnecting with the present moment is the strongest way to take back your mind. There are days when your mind feels heavy and your body feels slow. Not tired enough to sleep, but not energized enough to function. This in-between fog is something people across the UK and USA quietly battle every single day. The brain feels dull. The body feels stuck. Motivation disappears. But here's the surprising part. Your mind doesn't always need rest. Sometimes it needs movement. Specifically, a tiny physical shift that wakes up the brain's energy centers. Here's the story. Daniel, a graphic designer from Los Angeles, used to hit an afternoon mental crash that left him staring at his screen for minutes, unable to focus. Coffee didn't help. Scrolling made it worse. Even taking a break left him feeling drained. Then one day, while watching a coach speak to a group of athletes, Daniel heard something that changed everything. Motion activates mental clarity. The coach demonstrated a simple 5-minute move called the Energy Reset Stretch, a blend of breathing, stretching, and tension release. Daniel tried it the next day. He stood up, placed his hands on the back of his head, and stretched his elbows wide. As he inhaled deeply, his ribs expanded. As he exhaled, he bent forward slightly, letting his chest and neck loosen. Then he rolled his shoulders, lifted his arms, stretched his spine, took 3 slow breaths. In less than 5 minutes, something clicked. His head felt clearer. His eyes felt sharper. His thoughts moved again. This works because movement increases blood flow to the brain, releasing chemicals that restart focus, creativity, and emotional balance. It's like rebooting your mind through your body. You can do this anywhere, before work, during stress, after an argument, on a day when everything feels too much. 5 minutes of gentle movement can shift your entire mental atmosphere, lifting your energy, clearing the fog, and making the day feel lighter. Scrolling endlessly, checking notifications every few minutes, watching content that drains you emotionally. This is the reality for millions in the UK and USA. Digital overwhelm isn't just annoying. It affects your mental health, focus, and sleep. Here's a secret. A tiny digital detox can give your mind clarity in under 5 minutes. Psychologists call it the pocket rule. Here's the story. Sophia, a university student in New York, noticed her anxiety spiking every evening. Social media scrolling felt automatic. Her focus dropped. Sleep became restless. She felt mentally heavy but couldn't stop. Then her therapist introduced the pocket rule. Step 1. Pick one small window in your day, 5 minutes. Step 2. Put your phone in another room. Step 3. Close your laptop or turn off notifications. Step 4. Focus fully on something physical. Your surroundings, a cup of tea, or even a short walk. Sophia tried it after dinner. 5 minutes. No phone.
No notifications.
She felt her chest lighten. Thoughts slowed. Stress melted. Neuroscience explains why. Constant digital input floods the brain with dopamine and stress signals. Even short breaks allow your mind to reset. The magic is in consistency, not duration. Even 5 minutes twice a day improves focus, emotional regulation, and creativity. This tiny detox is easy, invisible to others, and practical. Your mind learns to rest, recharge, and process information more efficiently. Sophia made it a daily habit, and gradually, the endless scroll no longer controlled her. The pocket rule is proof. You don't need hours away from devices to improve mental health. Just mindful mini breaks.